Imagine this, it's 2 a.m. and you're finished watching your season of your favorite serial killer.
on Netflix, and your phone starts buzzing from an unknown number.
You pause and think, great, is Dexter calling me to see if I'm next?
Hi, hello, namaste. I'm your host Madhu and you're listening to Hashbyte, a project to bring awareness on scams, news, and latest tips on cybersecurity. In today's episode, let's shift our focus from a fictional serial killer to a very real yet surprisingly simple tool what scammers bank on.
Late night phone calls have taken on an entirely new meaning in our digital age, where scammers work around the clock to exploit our trust and vulnerability. The psychological warfare being waged through our phones has become increasingly sophisticated, not in terms of technology, but in the manipulation of human psychology and trust. Consider this real incident from Bangalore that exemplifies the growing trend. A resident receives a late night call around 11 pm, supposedly from a courier company. Initially, the victim assumes it might be about a phone they recently ordered. However, the scenario quickly escalates when the caller claims they discovered illegal drugs in a package linked to the victim's Aadhaar number. The conversation strategically shifts to Skype, where someone posing as a customs officer continues the pressure tactics. The victim, overwhelmed and frightened, begins crying and pleading their innocence.
The scammer, seeing this moment of vulnerability,
Demands 75,000 rupees.
Within 10 minutes to help close the case and avoid a digital FIR. What makes this scam particularly effective isn't sophisticated technology or elaborate schemes. It's the exploitation of our fundamental trust in authority and official institutions. From our earliest years, we are taught to respect and trust authority figures, especially government officials and those in positions of power. This deeply ingrained cultural conditioning becomes a weapon in the hands of skilled manipulators. The psychological manipulation at play here reveals how scammers study human behavior as much as they study technology. They understand the perfect timing for the attacks, late night calls when victims are tired, less alert, and more likely to make rushed decisions. They know which authority figures to impersonate. Courier companies, bank officials, law enforcement, roles that naturally command respect and compliance. They create scenarios that demand immediate action, knowing that urgency clouds judgment and reduces critical thinking. These scammers operate like skilled psychologists, understanding that our trust is like a vulnerable deer in an open field, waiting to be exploited. They don't just work with computer code and digital systems. They've mastered the art of manipulating human emotions and behavioral patterns. The late night timing is deliberate, when our defenses are down and our ability to think critically is compromised by fatigue. Here's a practical example of how to protect yourself. Imagine receiving a WhatsApp message at 2 a.m. from your bank about suspicious transactions threatening to freeze your account. Instead of panicking and following their instructions, take that crucial moment to pause and ask yourself, would my legitimate bank really contact me through WhatsApp at this hour? Would they use this communication channel for such a sensitive matter? The simple act of questioning the situation and verifying through official channels can save you from significant financial loss. The key takeaway isn't to become completely distrustful, but rather to develop a healthy skepticism in our digital interactions. Trust should be earned, not automatically given, especially when dealing with unexpected communications involving money or personal information. When someone demands urgent action, that's your cue to pause, verify, and protect yourself. Remember these critical red flags: unusual contact methods like WhatsApp for official communication, pressure to act immediately, threats of legal action, and requests for payment to resolve official matters. Any one of these should trigger your internal alarm system. The most effective defense against these scams isn't sophisticated technology. It's the simple act of pausing to question and verify before taking action. The digital world has made scamming easier than ever, but it's also given us tools to protect ourselves. In the battle between scammers and potential victims, that moment of hesitation, that simple pause to question and verify, could be your strongest shield against financial loss and emotional distress.
So, next time you feel rushed, pressured, or scared online, stop, think, and remember scammers don't hack systems first, they hack people. Stay safe, stay aware. Until next time. This is your host Madhu, and you're been listening to Hashbyte.